Alright, my dogs of war, sorry about last week. Sometimes shit just happens. Plan A for this week was going to be to show you how to cook salmon in a way that doesn't suck, but the grocery store kind of let us down on that. Bartertown is a kind of hit or miss affair in the middle of the wasteland, so we're not going to do that today because that fish would have made you all fucking sick. We're not going to goddamn do that. So, instead, what we've got on tap today is 40 clove garlic chicken. Is it actually 40 cloves? I don't fucking know because I didn't count. We're using about this much garlic. This is the pain in the ass portion of this recipe. Peeling all this garlic. If you can buy peeled garlic by the bag, that is absolutely what you should do. Otherwise, this is about 2 heads worth, give or take a little, whatever I had laying around. Look, I fucking love garlic and I've got a lot of it on hand. Anyway, canola oil. This is an ambled cast iron Dutch oven. Don't pay for the spendy Le Creuset bullshit. This is lodged. This is good old Pennsylvania American fucking cast iron with some enamel on it. Dump this in. That's about 2, maybe 3 tablespoons of canola oil that I've already preheated in there. And as I said, about 2.5 heads of garlic. Stir that up. We're not going to cook this all the way through. We are just par cooking this garlic. It's all bubbly. It's all spattery. If you hear me swear extra more than usual, then you know what just happened. We're just going to blister this shit. We're going to use a spider. You can use a spoon. You can use tongs, whatever. But we are going to have to fish this shit out of here in just a minute or 3. Medium-high heat, somewhere right in that sweet spot between them. And we're going to let this go for about 3 minutes. So we're going to pause while this happens, and you're going to see the end result in just a second as soon as we come back from the cut. Alright, it's been about 3 minutes. We've got some nice browning on this garlic. We're getting a little bit blistery on this. This is what you're looking for right here. We are not done cooking this garlic yet, so don't just fucking calm your tits. Get your spider in there, pull it out. You don't need to worry about draining the grease on this because this is all going back in a few more minutes. As soon as I can manage to see my way through these perforations, we're going to put the chicken in here, which we have had coming out to room temperature for about a half hour, 45 minutes. Hopefully I didn't miss anything in there. This can sit over here, no longer a problem. Get your tongs, get your chicken. We've got salt, pepper, and a favorite seasoning blend of mine that I'm not going to link to because the proprietor of this particular establishment has gone full retard on political derangement. Just find a seasoning blend that you like on chicken and use that. We will be washing up after this. Start it out skin side down. That's a good sound. You want to hear that. Get it all in there. We are going to brown this on all sides. Or at least both sides. Use this fucking foam as a shield. You see how I'm not flinching? That's because all of this shit is hitting the back of my hand and not my nips. Now, browning this shit is actually going to take a few minutes, so we're going to cut back out again. And I'm not even going to show you the flip, because once it turns brown, you're going to see the flip side of this once it is at the desired state of doneness, so you'll know how far to go. And I will keep you posted on the time on this. We'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, skin side went down for, I actually measured this, 9 minutes. Take a look at this. We have got a beautiful golden brown on this. The underside. We also have a beautiful golden brown. This has been down for 5 minutes. Pulling this shit out. Is this chicken done? No. No, it is not. We are going to finish this chicken in the second part of this, wherein we recharge the battery on the camera because I'm a fucking moron and forgot to do that. So what we've got down here is a big old heavy ass pot that is going to have slow thermal inertia. It's going to give its heat up slowly. It's going to take heat up slowly. What this means is we're going to turn this down to medium-low, and we are going to make a fucking roux. This is just plain-ass AP flour. There is nothing special about it. We're throwing that down on that canola oil that we've been using. This is going to be about 2.5 cups, give or take. I'm not actually measuring. We're going to see how this works out. We're going to use our spider on this. Swish it around. See how it's already cooling down? That's not just because we turned the heat down. That is soaking up your heat, and that is also toasting your flour and putting more flavor into the roux. This is nice and foamy. Yeah, foamy. You want me to throw moist in this too? Because it could also be moist. So anyway, stir this around real good. That's a little moist. So we're going to throw about another, maybe 1/4 to 1/8 cup in there. Swish it up. This is looking good. We don't need a super dry roux on this. This is going to work just fine for our purposes because we've got a long pause coming up. Get all this incorporated, stir it around, make sure that you give the flour a little bit time to cook. If your flour doesn't cook, you're going to have a bland, pasty Minnesota fucking flour roux gravy bullshit that is gonna fucking suck. We don't want that. We want flavor. We want taste. This is actually going to come out good. You know how we're going to make sure that happens? We're going to use alcohol. This is a Chardonnay. It's supposedly a fairly buttery one. Here is the rule about cooking with alcohol. If you wouldn't drink it, don't put it in your fucking food. Our patron Saint Julia once said, "I love cooking with wine. Sometimes I even put it in the food." That's what we're doing. Basically, we're making a wine gravy. Keep that shit moving. Stir it up a little. Yeah, it's going to clump a little bit until you start breaking it up good. This is going to take about 3/4 of the bottle, so you don't want to break the bank on this, but you do want to spend enough that you're going to get something that you won't mind drinking the leftovers, and I am going to drink these leftovers. There we go. We're starting to get a little soppy in here, but we still have a nice gravy-ish consistency. I'm going to use a little bit more because what we're going to do next is we're going to cook this shit down. Sometimes it takes the entire bottle of wine. Don't be afraid of that. That's barely a swallow. Do I have to make the joke? You know the joke. Stir that in. And we are good to go. Now from here, we're going to want another pinch of salt, which you can add whenever the fuck you want. Stir this shit in so that you don't have lumps. You want this nice and smooth. Your garlic that you got all nice and toasty and blistered, get that back in there. You too, Francis. Come on, motherfucker. Fine, you're going on my toast. Stir that shit in. Smidge of pepper, smidge of salt. You know how we roll with pepper around here. For what we're doing here, that's enough. It's like maybe a 1/4 teaspoon. Salt about the same. Just a nice, easy pinch. Get it in there. Your spider is the perfect tool for this. It's going to blend everything together, stir it all in, and now, bay leaves. I'm calling for 2 bay leaves on this. They're over here. These are 2 whole bay leaves. Bay leaves, when dried out, come in chunks, and I would consider this 1 bay leaf. So use your judgment. I'm going to use the pretty ones. Those are for later. Throw your bay leaves in. Stir around again, make sure they're nice and moistened. From here, your chicken goes back in, along with all the juice. Skin side up, skin side down, doesn't fucking matter, because you have already put the color on it. Look at that, get it in there. We are braising at this point, basically. This is a wet cook. This is going to finish out, the moisture is going to carry the rest of the heat into your meat. And that is what is going to get you all the way to where this chicken is safe to eat. Go ahead and throw the lid on as soon as you can find it looking through your bullshit face mask. And have some bread set aside, and we will cover that in about 45 minutes. Because this is going over medium-low heat. And this is just going to simmer for a long ass time, and we will come back to this as soon as it's done in, as I said, 45 minutes. Alright, motherfuckers, it has been 47 minutes by my microwave clock that is not accurate within a 10 shit in a gold mine. What I have done here is I have put a layer of double density foil on this thing just to keep everything in, and this has been just simmering over low heat. The chicken has continued to cook because I told you it wasn't done yet. What this has done is this has redirected flavor back into the pot. Anything that was going to evaporate out, steam out, any of that bullshit, that has hit this layer of foil and it has hit the sides and it has run back down. Down. There we go. That's all flavor running back in there. This is useless, fuck it. That gravy was pretty much done before we started with this portion of the cook. We already had a nice color on this chicken. The garlic has been in there getting all kinds of fucking happy with the chicken and the bay leaves and the wine and the flour. The flour has simmered down nice and thick. Oh, that is some dummy thick gravy. That is fucking beautiful. So, what you're going to want to do, from here, I'm not going to show you this part because if you can't figure it out, that's your own fucking problem and you're too dumb to be watching this. I'm going to take the chicken out of this. I'm going to spoon this with lovely fucking gravy over it. That used to be my finger that I just burned the shit out of. And I'm going to hide that back here so you don't see the blister. Bay leaves can go away. Garlic is going to go on fucking everything. Bring the garlic out with that. What I have also done is I've got a loaf of crusty bread. Put this on a half pan. I've only got 4 pieces here because there's only 2 people eating this shit. This is some stunt butter. It looks good for the camera. It's actually margarine. Don't use that. It just looks good on camera. Seriously. I just use this because it's fucking pretty. Put this under the broiler. I've got salt, pepper, and garlic powder on this. Get this nice and brown and toasty. If you don't know what nice and brown and toasty looks like, then you are too far gone for me to help, and I am not going to fucking bother with that. That's going to come out in about 7 minutes, give or take. This is ready now. I'm going to plate this up, and I haven't eaten today, so I'm going to just fucking throw this on some plates, eat this, shove it in my face hole. Fuck. I'll figure something out. Don't worry about it. Either way, this is dinner tonight. 40 clove garlic chicken. Do not count the garlic cloves. Make some thick-ass gravy with some nice white wine. If you wouldn't drink it, don't cook with it. Don't count the garlic cloves. Get a good sear on the chicken and serve it with some crusty bread. This has been Cooking with Lord Humungus, and because somebody finally pointed out that I haven't actually linked it, there is now actually a link to the goddamn Patreon in the comments, or, well, not the comments, the fucking description. Please sign up. Like, smash, subscribe, all that. You've been to YouTube before. Do your fucking jobs. Good night.